My name's Philippa Parish. I have two children, I say teenagers, one of them's 21 now and the other one's 19, two girls. I'm married. I have a degree in food science, so I worked in the food industry for 15 years. And then I was kind of like poacher turned gamekeeper. I then decided to study nutrition and became a nutritionist, graduated in 2005. And I come here one afternoon a week, and I would love to come here full time because it's just a nice place to work, lovely people. It's nice to work with the dynamic of children with their families in quite a short space of time. And I feel for the parents, being a parent myself. And it's just a really, really rewarding job for me, and to see the results with the children. And I always say, if you have a problem, I see so many clients in my private practice who are my age or older, who've had a lifetime of a problem, or maybe various problems, and they've come to me to sort it out. And I think if children can sort out their problems when they're younger, just think of all that life that they have without a problem, and they can get on and enjoy their teens and their adult years, and maybe not take whatever has been their problem into their adult life, you know, bringing it onto their children or their spouses or their friends and that kind of thing. And I just think to get in early as possible, I think is wonderful. Well, there isn't a typical session when children come to see me. I don't over-prepare. I have a look at their resume, and I have a look at their 3-day food diary. I like to see the relationship with the parents and the children. Often they bring siblings. We can have 5 people at one consultation. It can be quite chaotic, but that's okay. And I really, it's a problem for me because obviously mothers are doing their best for their children. And I have to go in and talk to them about food. There's 2 issues there. A mother's obviously thinking she's doing the right thing with food, and I have to often change that in a very sympathetic and positive way. The other thing is that children, often food is a problem in that they are controlling the house with it. Say if they're fussy eaters or they won't eat certain foods. I'm not talking about children here who are autistic. I'm talking about ordinary children who don't really have a problem that way, and they can quite easily get into a power struggle at home with it. So some children will come into me and they'll burst into tears because they know I'm the food lady and I'm going to make them eat different things. So it's a very much testing the water throughout a consultation. I never really prepare for it. I just take it as it's going to happen. And even with very small children, I mean, we had a little girl here, 6 yesterday. I talked to them about food. I mean, obviously not 3 years old, but older, 5 maybe up. I talked to them about food. I talked to them about even preparing food, mashing potatoes, that kind of thing, getting children involved in food preparation. And so it's not just me talking to the mother saying, go to the supermarket, buy that, you know, this will help them. And this little girl had choked on a chip. So she was very worried about eating, and she wanted to eat very stodgy things. So she was on lots of mashed potatoes. Since then, she'd lost a lot of weight, and she wasn't very big anyway. And she'd also started getting constipation because she wasn't eating a varied diet, no vegetables, things like that. So I just drew her, and it was a terrible picture because I'm not a good artist, but I drew her a picture of her inside. So I said, it's worrying for you because you can't see your inside. You can see if you cut yourself, you can see it healing, and you know it's getting better. So I drew this terrible picture of her esophagus with the little gap that has stopping food going into your lungs, and then the tube down into your stomach. So I just told her how clever her body was, that, you know, she coughed because her chip was going down into the wrong place. It was going down into her lungs. It should have been going down into her tummy. And she thought that was really funny because my drawing was terrible. But she kind of understood what I was saying. And then I kind of took it on to a more serious part throughout the consultation, saying, so why do you think you choked on your chip? And she said, well, I don't know. And I said, well, could it be to do with something of the size of it? You know, I said, you do have these teeth at the back of your mouth, and they're for chewing, and they're to make your food nice and small. So whatever you put in your mouth, you can chew it down to a nice smooth paste, and then it swallows down easily. So, you know, it's all that kind of getting them to understand on a very basic level, to understand, to take responsibility for themselves. Because her mum was saying she was chewing with her front teeth, so she was frightened to get the food in the back of her mouth because she didn't want to choke again. So I was saying it's under your control whether you choke again, really. You know, and you might choke again. Because I just hurt my foot that day. I said, no, I've hurt my foot at my class, but my foot will be getting better, and then I'll go back to my class. you know, maybe I'll take a bit of more attention about what I'm doing, but it's not going to stop me doing it. So it's that kind of taking the whole story. So yes, I am the food lady, but I kind of have to talk around that, you know, and I'm a great believer in children who reject lots of foods. To get them involved in making foods, to get them going to the supermarket with their mum. So say if they won't eat fruit, so I'll say, well, what should we work on? What would you like to try? We'll try an apple. Okay, so go to the shop with mummy or daddy, or mummy and daddy, and there are lots of different kinds of apples, different shapes, different sizes, different colours, different flavours, and you can buy one of each and then come home and have a little taste test, because being a food scientist, I love all that kind of thing. So I'm saying, have a little taste test and decide which one you like best. And so they're thinking, this is a game. It's not just have an apple. I'm not having an apple. Please have an apple. Don't, you know. And it's not. So they're getting them on board and making a game of it. And it does seem to work better. And I love the old marketing ploy that I used when I was at work. And it's give a child a choice of two. So you would say, which breakfast would you like? Would you like a boiled egg or would you like a scrambled egg? Because if you said, would you like a scrambled egg, they can say, no, I don't want it. But if you give them a choice of two, they tend to opt for one or the other. I talk a great deal to them about the whole world of food. It's not just about what to eat. And then underpinning that, you know, I'm talking about blood sugar levels often, all the time really. So fluctuating blood sugar levels make any emotion more intense. So if they're hyper, make you more hyper. If you have depression or anxiety, panics, lots of children have quite a lot of anxiety, even small children, to get their blood sugar levels nice and stable. I say it's like, you know, someone standing there giving you a cuddle. You know, and you feel that situation, maybe at school if they're being a bit bullied or, you know, they're frightened of the dark. I said having proper meals with lots of protein and lots of vegetables and things, I said actually like someone standing there giving you a little bit of a cuddle, because you feel more armed and ready for whatever you've got to do. I don't know, it is magical because we never really know who is going to do the best for the child, and it's this synergy of the three therapies working together. And I think the fact is none of us mind, there are no egos here, we just all work together, and it's for the good of the child but the good of the family. You know, if you think about a bad situation, it's like throwing a pebble in a pool, isn't it? And these ripples go out and they go through families and friends and colleagues, all that kind of thing. It's the same thing with the good that we do here. You know, parents come to us and they're in really upset, distressed. The grandparents they're often split families, so you're getting another family. It's all involved with this child. And we all work together to help them. And you can see the positiveness coming out. The parents come back, they look happier and calmer, they're getting on better with their children, or their children are happier, or they're not in pain if they've had some kind of problem like that. And the siblings, the whole dynamic of the family just changes. And that is so rewarding to see that. I always think of it as like if I said to you, can you carry this football across that lawn with a fork? You say, I can't do it. But if you had 3 forks, you can make a triangular motion, you can balance it. And that's the kind of thing that we do. It's a nice balancing act, but it's in a very gentle way. My message to parents would be, for the price it is for 3 sessions, it would be the same as taking your family to the cinema and a meal. It's not expensive. And what is there to lose? It's so wonderful for parents to see that beautiful change in their children when they're so young. Never mind their teenage years that come afterwards and things like that in their adult years. You know, they've sorted out a problem that their child could take through into adulthood. And it could give them no end of problems for them and then their circle of friends and families and everything like that. So yes, we don't have hard scientific evidence, but we do have anecdotal evidence and case studies where you can actually go back and look through them and see the dynamic of what we've done and the success that we've had.